The Dharma Karma Adhipati Yogas, Aries Lagna core principle, Dharma and Karma integration. For Aries Lagna, ruled by Mars, Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga forms when Jupiter acts as the connector between fortune, 9th house, and action, 10th house. Jupiter owns the 9th house, Sagittarius, Dharma, higher knowledge, ethics, destiny, and the 12th house, Pisces, liberation, expenses, foreign travels, while Saturn rules the 10th house, Capricorn, karma, career, authority. Here, the primary Dharma-Karma link emerges when Jupiter associates with Saturn directly or indirectly, producing powerful leadership, moral responsibility, and growth in career through ethical and expansive actions. The strength of this yoga depends heavily on how Jupiter and Saturn are placed and how Mars supports their expression. Jupiter, 9th and 12th Lord, in Sagittarius, 9th house, own sign, unafflicted. This is a classical and highly potent Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga for Aries Rising. Jupiter's placement in its own sign in the 9th house fortifies ethics, higher education, and luck, while connecting naturally with the Karma house ruled by Saturn. The native excels in teaching, legal professions, spiritual leadership, or diplomatic roles where wisdom, patience, and moral integrity bring long-term success. Jupiter, 9th and 12th Lord. In Pisces, 12th house, own sign, unafflicted. Placed in its own sign in the 12th house, Jupiter emphasizes spiritual service, foreign connections, charitable work, and liberation-oriented leadership. The native may lead international organizations, spiritual institutions, or philanthropic ventures where Dharma is expressed through service and karmic release. This placement also supports high-ranking positions abroad or in global institutions. Saturn, 10th Lord, in Capricorn, 10th house, own sign, unafflicted. When Saturn occupies its own sign in the 10th house, karma becomes stabilized and highly productive. The native achieves leadership through steady hard work, discipline, and mastery of responsibilities. Political authority, judicial leadership, corporate governance, or bureaucratic excellence mark their professional life. This Saturn position perfectly aligns with Jupiter's dharmic influence, enhancing career stability and public recognition. Mars, Lagna Lord in Aries, 1st house, own sign, fortifying personal strength and leadership. Mars gives the native courage, initiative, and ambition. Its placement in the ascendant enhances personal authority, allowing Jupiter and Saturn's combined influence to express confidently. The native becomes a strong-willed, ethical, and highly respected leader who acts decisively while maintaining moral integrity. Moon, 4th Lord, in Taurus, 2nd house, exalted, stabilizing emotional and financial security. Exalted Moon brings emotional balance and financial stability, complementing Saturn's career focus and Jupiter's dharmic expansion. The native excels in leadership roles that require both empathy and practical resource management, ensuring long-lasting prosperity and public trust. Venus, 2nd and 7th Lord in Libra, 7th house, own sign, enhancing partnerships and public diplomacy. Venus strengthens alliances, partnerships, and diplomatic success. The native gains strong support from business alliances, public partnerships, and marital harmony, further supporting Saturn's and Jupiter's leadership capacity with grace and mutual cooperation. Mercury, 3rd and 6th Lord in Virgo, 6th house, exalted, refining conflict management and intellectual control. Exalted Mercury sharpens strategic thinking, legal expertise, and conflict resolution. This supports roles in administration, judiciary, public policy, and corporate negotiations where disciplined intellect combines with ethical governance. Rahu in Taurus, 2nd house, amplifying wealth building and resource control. Rahu magnifies the native's ability to accumulate wealth and control financial institutions. When balanced, this creates powerful financial strategists or business magnates who manage resources at large scales. Mismanagement may lead to excessive materialism or resource hoarding. Ketu in Scorpio, 8th house, disposed by Mars Ketu, fosters detachment from material anxieties and deep insight into hidden matters. The native may gain expertise in research, occult leadership, or transformational governance, allowing Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga to mature into service-based leadership that balances material success with karmic purification. The Dharma Karma Adhipati Yogas, Cancer Lagna core principle, Dharma and Karma integration. For Cancer Lagna, ruled by the moon, Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga forms through Mars, which owns both the 5th house, Scorpio, intelligence, past life merit, creative intelligence, children, and the 10th house, Aries, karma, career, public status. This unites the house of Dharma, 5th, with the house of karma, 10th, in a single planet, creating one of the purest forms of Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga. The strength of this yoga depends on Mars' dignity and how well the moon stabilizes Mars' dynamic energy, enabling Cancer natives to channel their emotional instincts into decisive leadership, public authority, and karmic accomplishments. Mars, 5th and 10th Lord, in Aries, 10th house, own sign, unafflicted Lishbritha. This is the most direct and powerful Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga for Cancer rising. Mars placed in its own sign in the 10th house grants courage, ambition, and strong leadership abilities. The native rises through executive roles, government leadership, entrepreneurship, or positions demanding bold public decisions. Ethical leadership, professional authority, and rapid career growth are strongly supported. Mars, 5th and 10th Lord, in Scorpio, 5th house, own sign, unafflicted. When Mars occupies its other Multrikona house in the 5th, it strengthens intellect, strategic leadership, creative problem solving, and management of subordinates. The native excels in leadership roles requiring both intelligence and courage, such as politics, military leadership, legal strategy, or large organizational management. Moon, Lagna Lord, in Taurus, 11th house, exalted, stabilizing emotions and financial expansion. Exalted moon provides emotional stability, strong social networks, and consistent financial gains. This balances Mars's aggression, allowing the native to govern large groups with emotional intelligence and practical resource management, leading to long-term alliances and societal respect. Jupiter, 6th and 9th Lord, in Pisces, 9th house, own sign, adding dharmic wisdom to career pursuits. Jupiter's placement enhances higher knowledge, ethical judgment, and spiritual guidance. The native may rise as a political reformer, judge, counselor, or religious leader whose public role is deeply guided by moral values and karmic responsibility, amplifying the Dharma Karma Adhipati combination. Venus, 4th and 11th Lord, in Taurus, 11th house, own sign, supporting institutional wealth and alliances. Venus here strengthens friendships, financial stability, and institutional support. The native gains from political networks, business partnerships, and public service roles where Mars' leadership blends with Venus' diplomacy and resourcefulness to achieve large-scale organizational success. Mercury, 3rd and 12th Lord, in Virgo, 3rd house, exalted, refining communication and strategic execution. Exalted Mercury sharpens communication, strategic negotiation, and administrative efficiency. This supports Mars' leadership with precise articulation, helping the native excel in negotiations, legal matters, and political maneuvering. Saturn, 7th and 8th Lord, in Capricorn, 7th house, own sign, stabilizing partnerships and public relations. Saturn provides stability in long-term business partnerships, diplomacy, and public relationships. The native may lead long-standing alliances, institutional contracts, or public organizations that require both structure and authority. Rahu in Taurus, 11th house, amplifying network building and institutional expansion. Rahu boosts financial ambition, political alliances, and large institutional influence. When positively directed, this leads to strong wealth building, political leadership, and mass-level support. If misguided, it may create imbalanced ambition or manipulative alliances. Ketu in Scorpio, 5th house, disposed by Mars Ketu promotes detachment from personal ego while supporting deep strategic thinking. The native may develop spiritual leadership or intellectual mastery using past life karmic wisdom to guide public service roles, allowing the Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga to reach its highest service-based potential. The Dharma Karma Adhipati Yogas, Leo Lagna core principle, Dharma and Karma integration. For Leo Lagna, ruled by the Sun, Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga forms through Mars, which rules both the 4th house, Scorpio, inner stability, property, institutions, education, and the 9th house, Aries, Dharma, higher knowledge, fortune. This creates a pure Dharma Karma link where Mars bridges personal foundation, 4th and higher destiny, 9th, allowing Leo natives to convert inner strength into public authority. When Mars is strong, the native excels in leadership, institutional governance, and dharmic public roles. The Sun's radiant authority combines with Mars's courage, discipline, and execution power to drive long-term leadership success. Mars, 4th and 9th Lord, In Aries, ninth house, own sign, unafflicted mountain. This is the strongest Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga for Leo Rising. Mars in its own sign in the ninth house creates righteous leadership, dynamic fortune, and expansion of influence through ethical governance. The native becomes a powerful political leader, legal authority, educator, or institutional head whose decisions are guided by higher purpose and karmic maturity. Mars, fourth and ninth lord, in Scorpio, fourth house, own sign. Unafflicted Mars in the fourth house provides control over institutional assets, land, education, and governance. The native becomes an administrative head, property magnate, political administrator, or leader of educational religious organizations. This placement ensures strong public reputation, respect, and control over organizations serving public welfare. Sun Lagna Lord in Leo first house, own sign, amplifying personal authority and leadership. The sun empowers the native with personal charisma, natural leadership, and self-confidence. When supported by Mars, Dharma Karma link, the individual emerges as a powerful statesman, institutional leader, or administrative authority who commands respect through personal magnetism and ethical conduct. Moon, 12th Lord, in Taurus, 10th house, exalted, stabilizing emotional maturity and career. Exalted moon in the 10th house balances public leadership with emotional wisdom, making the native widely respected for compassionate governance and sound decision-making. It supports steady career rise, popularity, and grace in handling public affairs. Jupiter, 5th and 8th Lord, in Sagittarius, 5th house, own sign, enhancing dharmic wisdom and strategic intellect. Jupiter's placement strengthens intelligence, teaching abilities, and karmic insight. The native becomes a philosophical leader, policymaker, or counselor with deep understanding of ethical administration, long-term planning, and generational leadership. Venus, 3rd and 10th Lord, in Libra, 3rd house, own sign, supporting communication and public relations. Venus enhances diplomatic skill, communication, and professional alliances. The native thrives in leadership roles involving negotiation, legal work, and public administration, where Mars's dynamic leadership blends with Venus' refinement and political tact. Mercury, 2nd and 11th Lord, in Virgo, 2nd house, exalted, refining financial control and advisory roles. Exalted Mercury sharpens financial management, speech, and resource control. The native excels in treasury, economic governance, advisory positions, or legal financial leadership where practical intellect supports large-scale wealth accumulation and public prosperity. Saturn, 6th and 7th Lord, in Capricorn, 6th house, own sign, strengthening administrative and legal leadership. Saturn grants mastery over legal systems, conflict resolution, and institutional discipline. The native becomes a powerful bureaucrat, legal authority, or administrator who handles public disputes and legal frameworks with stability and long-term impact. Rahu in Taurus, 10th house, amplifying career ambition and public recognition. Rahu magnifies career success, institutional authority, and global recognition. The native may rise rapidly in politics, law, or international organizations. When balanced, this leads to mass influence. If unbalanced, it may produce unchecked ambition or reputational volatility. Ketu in Scorpio, 4th house, disposed by Mars Ketu, fosters detachment from personal comforts, strengthening the native's focus on institutional leadership and public duty. This allows the Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga to reach full maturity as the native leads with selfless service, institutional control, and dharmic purpose.